Hello?
So TurnUp Waco started January 1st,
Okay.
New Year's Day. So I started doing a couple of pop-up classes in the fall, and it was such a big hit that, like, you know what, we should just get our own space. Started talking to a few people about borrowing their space a couple days a week, and then eventually I was like, I think we just need to go for it. It's the beginning of the year, everybody makes all the New Year's resolutions, and let's capitalize on that.
Yeah.
So we had a grand opening on January 1st.
And then the turnout for that grand opening was pretty good.
Yeah, we had 40 people show up.
Oh, yeah.
We brought in Jamel with Jamel's Top Secret Dance Fitness from Orlando,
Got you.
and he came in, and yeah, we had a blast. So we're trying to diversify the schedule to accommodate people's different schedules throughout the week, because all those people loved it. Everybody, we've heard nothing but good reviews from people. So we try to make it to where everybody can come out a couple times a week and try different dance formats and different fitness formats and stuff.
And the difference between your dance setup is how is it standing out from everyone else's?
Yeah, so TurnUp Dance Fitness is new here. We're the first and only TurnUp Dance Fitness studio. So the TurnUp is really more about, it's a high intensity interval training meets hip hop, so our whole playlist is hip hop. But what really makes it different, I think, is the whole philosophy and the heart and soul behind it is just for women. Men are always welcome, but the men who come also celebrate women's empowerment and stuff. But it's for women to not play small, not to tone it down, or you're too much, you're being too extra. Like, this is the place where we tap into that divine feminine energy, that the strength, and you can be as wild and crazy as you want. You come, it doesn't matter what you look like, what shape, size, race, whatever you are, like, come bring your whole self. Because for me, I have a sign that says leave it all on the floor. It's like bring it all. Like, not only the stresses of your day and everything, but who are you as a person, your creative side, your personality, your sensuality, everything that probably in other spaces at work or wherever you can't express those things.
That's right.
And so I like to tell people, like, I'm less of an instructor, I'm more of a coach. Because I also do birth coaching, and so it's very similar whenever you see women hit a wall where they think, like, oh, this is my max, like, this is all this is what I can do, and then, like, no, dig deep, and surprise yourself. And I always ask the ladies after every class, I'm like, are you surprised of yourself? And they're like, I did. I was like, good.
And they're showing up in any kind of dress code, or you tell them how to dress alike?
I just tell them to be comfortable. Sometimes, if we get hot in here, people end up with just their sports bra and whatever. It's like, there's no judgment. There's no, like, oh, you're exposing too much, you're dancing to this or to that. No, you can be, like I said, as extra and big, take up as much space with your movements, or if you just want to jig.
Right there in place, you go ahead and do that?
Yeah, and some of the choreography, if it's, you feel like it's too intense or too complicated, we'll also offer modifications to make it simpler. And I'm like, or if all else fails, squat, do whatever. Step touch, just keep moving, keep sweating, smiling, have a good time, because the playlist is always lit.
And age groups, it's everybody pretty much, right?
Yeah, I recommend, at least 17 and older, maybe 16. It's really up to the parents. Because, like I said, we do talk about topics that pertain a lot to more adult things. Yeah, the playlist. I don't know how every parent feels about certain songs, but we don't shy away from, like, real hip hop music, and my playlist is mostly like Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, and stuff like that. Because everybody knows when you're having fun, like, it doesn't feel like work.
No, it doesn't. It feels like fun.
It is. It's like a club. We have all the lights are off except for the color lights that are music synced, and the lights are on the mirrors, and then the disco lights. So it really feels like you were turning up with your girlfriends at the club.
Yeah.
It does.
And no, they're actually able to come here, let it all out. Like, that's the rule. Leave it all here.
Leave it on the floor, yeah.
And then they leave feeling refreshed. They feel more of themselves. Feel probably poured into.
Yep. I love that. Like, when I asked them last night, like, give me one word, how do you feel right now? And that was kind of off the cuff. I didn't really plan that. And the responses I got, I was like, man, that is awesome. Because exactly like what the heartbeat is. of this place and TurnUp Dance Fitness in general. It's like they felt strong, powerful. One lady said liberated, and like you can even see that word on my personal social media and my business social media. I run 2 nonprofits that work around like policy issues around liberation in the legal system and stuff. So that meant a lot to me when she said liberated. And then a couple of ladies said sweaty, tired, but you know, good tired, strong. One lady said, I'm back.
That's right, return, and also pouring into the community too, which I have to say that I don't think a lot of gyms have that same effect. You know, you get a workout in, you may or may not have help depending on if you're in a class or whatever, but you're actually leading the class and participating in the dance routine that they have.
Yeah.
Is everybody at some point in time going through, like following along with you, or is there like a freestyle type of thing?
So I'm up there and I'm leading everybody, and they're mirroring, they're following me. And most of the time, what TurnUp does, we are encouraged to always face our class. Sometimes I'll turn around to the mirrors just so if I think it might be helpful, but for the most part, I'm facing the class. And so, other than that, I tell them like if this move feels like it's too complicated or whatever, do your own thing. And they do sometimes, and I love it. And the last song we usually do like open, just free dance. Yeah. And I started that randomly one day. I was like, hey, this next song, it started to play on my playlist, and I was like, let's just dance. This song's a vibe. And we put it on, and everybody, I don't know, the energy just in the room was like, yeah, this is what we need to do. So we started doing it after every class. And yeah, we actually stayed after class again last night, me and a handful of girls, and we just hung out and talked, and these were all women who had never been here before.
First timers, winning the overtime like that. And so then there's that time of, I'm sure that you see people who are timid and just don't know if it's even quote unquote okay to get loose like that. Yep,
there's one, she's been commenting on social media and everything, and she's like our age, and she said that she's like, to think I almost talked myself out of coming. She's like, and then now I feel like I found my tribe, my people in Waco. And so she was like, man, and she said it was the best workout of her life. And I was like, damn, that's good.
Yes. And that's influential because working out can be boring depending on the setting. So it seems like you have taken away that boring side of it or repetitive side. Yeah. And if the songs change, the moves could change, it doesn't even feel like working out.
It doesn't.
Maybe not until after.
It doesn't. And we've got new choreo coming out every month. We get new choreo, and it's always our founder, Tansy. She's just a beast. And yeah, she's just doing it. And so the new choreo that dropped today, I can't wait to start infusing some of that into the current playlist. Because I have a solid playlist that the people who've been coming for the whole month, they got it down, and then so we started putting in new ones. New stuff. So keeping it exciting, but
exciting and new. So yeah, that keeps people coming too. So you already have the impact where the first timers are getting so engaged that they're staying even after the class is over.
Yeah, and I'm excited that now is March. So this month. Matter of fact, it should be by the end of the week. I'm going to have all of our schedules finalized, but we're adding 7 new instructors and 5 new formats. So it won't just be TurnUp Dance Fitness. It'll be 2 Zumba instructors, one a guy named Notes Smith. He teaches a format he founded called Sweat It Out, which is a blend of like Afro beats, house music, and Latin and hip hop. And his is less hip hop, and more. It's easier to follow because the house music and the pop music, like there's just more diversity in the sound, the type of music he chooses. And then Exco Latin by Jackie is a Latin format, kind of like Zumba, but they use shaker weights and focus a lot on upper body, and that is killer because it's rare that you find in dance fitness, how do you work out your upper body very much besides like swinging your arms and stuff? Right. But those shaker weights, I tell you, the first time I did it, I woke up the next morning and I was like, oh my God, everything from like waist up was like, I was like, yeah, this is a workout. I mean, shoulders, back, lower back, upper back, everything. So if you want to do your upper body in a fun way, because I used to have to go to the gym to do upper body.
That's right.
So Expo Latin by Jackie is awesome. Lizette is going to be doing that. We're going to have yoga by Amber J. And I believe Amber's one of the only 2 Black yoga instructors in Waco.
Awesome.
So I feel really privileged for us to be able to have her, because yoga is usually a very white space
For
that
the
people,
most part.
yeah, that you don't see a lot of people, really being intentional about opening up their space for anything other than your stereotypical yoga moms.
That's right.
And then we want to change the definition of what does a yoga mom look like? What does that even mean?
Yeah,
Yoga
broaden
mom
that.
could be everybody.
For real.
And then yoga, I feel like we have one more. I'm forgetting it, but Amber is also certified to do aerial classes. So she has like the scarves, the stretchy scarves where you twirl and flip up.
And get that going.
Yeah.
Oh,
So she's gonna do some aerial classes. We can only fit about like 5 of them in here, so it'll be like weekend, like specialty classes, date night, girls night type thing.
Okay.
For that.
And diversifying even your classes like that, I think is gonna add different levels to Waco being able to turn up, right?
Yeah. Oh, and a toning class. So for people who are like either pregnant, have some sort of injuries, disabilities, maybe they're just heavier and they're like, hey, jumping and stuff's hard on my knees, but I still want to get toned.
Gotcha.
We'll have, my friend Risa teaches bar classes, but you can do without a bar, you can do like floor bar, which is just like toning and strengthening and lengthening. So that'd be more gentle, maybe for older people and whoever just feels like they want to. Because even if you're doing lifting, you should still do some more toning classes and stretching classes too.
That's right.
So yeah, Risa will be doing those. That's what I was forgetting.
Takes the plyometrics out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good. And so you're catering to everybody.
Yeah.
And they may not even realize you're doing this until after the fact.
Yeah, everything falls into place, whenever you have the intentions and you live according to your values and you live your truth and you magnetize people to you that have those same values and who care about the community as well. Because like this is a startup. I have no investors. It's just me. And
passion.
I took out the equity in my home.
Oh, snap.
And I had my job. I had a contract that ended November 15th, and so that's the last time I got a paycheck. So this was just a dream and a prayer, and running with the little equity I got out of my mortgage. And so everybody here understands, like, we're not getting into it for money. I want everybody to get paid. I want them to get paid what they deserve, and that's what we're going towards.
Yeah.
And it's gonna happen. But like, when you draw in the people, they're not just in it, like they've got full-time jobs, but this is something they're passionate about. This is something that they also want to give to the community. So the more people we can get in here as members, it helps everybody out because we can keep the lights on, we can keep this going.
That's right. And then it'll be an option for people because after work or come 5 or 6 o'clock, the options are limited. So
yeah, I'm going to teach some morning classes and lunch classes. And I don't know, I think I like to start off the day, with the workout. So hopefully we have some other people who want to work out.
Get the blood pumping. And so we know when you started, what would be the reason why you started out? What did you see in the dance industry and fitness industry where you said, we need this?
So I started teaching dance fitness in 2011. And for me, it was finding a way to work out that I enjoyed. Because I've always had a leaning towards fitness. Like I grew up seeing my dad work out in the living room and stuff. And I used to make little workout routines in my notebook in my bedroom.
Yeah.
And so I used to read magazines that would tell you little workouts that you could try. And then I would like put that in my notebook. And so, and I was in dancing when I was young, but my mom had to take me out because we couldn't afford it. So I only did 1 year. I was 5.
Okay.
And so going all throughout school, I was mostly in athletics. Softball, basketball. And in high school, I was in show choir and musical productions. And so I've always had to decide between like sports or music. And so when I became an adult and then I found Zumba, I was like, well, I can come here and dance and I don't have to go to the club and drink and spend money and everything. I was real big in the church back then.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, so Zumba became that for me. And I noticed how it affected my mental health. everything. I wanted to go out and meet my people. It was in Belmead, so like sense of community.
Exactly.
And we had a blast. Lala Garcia was one of the instructors there, and she's actually going to be teaching here. Everything comes full circle. It's crazy.
Oh, wow.
So Lala's also going to be teaching here, and I think she's going to get her, she's already Zumba certified, but I think she's going to get her TurnUp certification too. And Lala's got a following. People love her. She is so much fun.
Okay.
And so, I started doing Zumba for that reason, and then I transitioned over to a format called Refit. It was brand new in Waco. They're still here. But I just noticed that even with Refit, I was living for those 2 hip hop songs. Like out of the whole playlist, I was like, those are my favorite. And I was like waiting for them. And so when a friend turned me on to TurnUp, I was like, what? The whole playlist is hip hop?
Nice.
And I was like, this is it. This is my thing. And whenever I got to know like her philosophy, Tansy, the owner, and like I was like, man, we're on the same wavelength.
Same page, right?
Yeah, it was incredible. So I knew Waco needed it. We don't even have like a hip hop that I know of, like a hip hop class that you could take. So we just needed hip. And we're next door to the private hip hop headquarters. Makes sense.
Same block right next door.
Yeah, we have one wall between us. And so, hip hop culture, like it's always been something I've loved deeply since I was in middle school. And I grew up in that era where it was like, we had Shania Twain, Garth Brooks, whatever, but we also had Usher, Brian McKnight, Tyrese, and then I'm from South Louisiana, so like Juvenile, and all them.
Wayne.
Yeah, 504 boys.
Yeah.
So I had very diverse musical influences in my life, but for some reason hip hop, it was just always, we just turned up.
And then I see the way that you have your decorations in the studio. It seems artistic for sure. And in combination with the influence you have with the people, has a positive effect as well. So
yeah. I like to keep, as you can tell, it's like my hair matches the color scheme in the studio too. But yeah, I was a 90s baby, so Lisa Frank was real big, that bright rainbow looking color, her bright, yes. So it really is like I'm in my 30s, almost my late 30s, and it's like a coming home to self is whenever you start healing those inner child wounds, and then you start to remember, like I said, I didn't even realize it until recently. I was like, wait, I used to make fitness routines in my bedroom. I was always sad that I had to leave dancing at 5 years old. And I never realized that I subconsciously, the more I've come home to myself and the more that I've healed and the more I've been listening to my own intuition, I have come back to the things that as a 5-year-old, I already knew I wanted to do. Yeah. Which also, helps me and influences my parenting too with my kids. So it's been everything you do in your life affects everything else. It's all connected. So even if you think it's just fitness, it's going to affect the way you relate to other people, including your children.
It's true.
It's been a blessing. It's taken a lot of risk, and but I don't regret any of it.
And where do you feel you want to take TurnUp Waco? I know generally as far as you can take it, but do you have any particular goals in the future?
Yeah, so I care a whole lot about our community and then like making fitness accessible to all, because I'm a social worker. I have a master's in social work. My bachelor's and master's are from Baylor, but I came here as an intern at Mission Waco. Okay. So I was their youth program assistant director, and so it was like what they consider at-risk youth or whatever, but my heart was always the teenagers in Waco, and now those kids who were 12 are now like 30. One of them, actually, he was 17 when I met him. He was just here the other night because they were at the show next door. He came over here, and we were all jamming to his music because he's a rapper, and he's been rapping since he was 17. And he's like, Hope, I'm 31 now, right? And I was like, don't say that, because I've known you since you were 17. This is crazy. But my heart will always be for local Wacoans. Like, I came here 13, 14 years ago, but this is still like home for me. And so we have an ambassador program where if you can't afford the whole month membership, partial month membership, whatever, you can go out and promote, you can go out and pass out business cards, you can, be part of the brand and get people in here and add value. And that way you're not just feeling like you're taking a handout or anything, but you're also adding value and you're also bringing people into this community. I'm working on summer programming for kids to come and have a little dance camp for a week long. Get them out of the house, send them over here. We'll do some dancing and circle time, maybe watch a movie, eat some food, go on a walk, whatever. My kids are excited about that. But I think Probably, I mean, I feel like we're gonna outgrow this space by the end of the lease, so hopefully we can find a big space and just pack that place out and just keep turning up, because fitness is something that you never finish.
No.
You know, there will always be a need for turn up dance fitness. There will always be a need for a space where women can come and feel accepted and safe and have fun. We can do anything, like especially in a bigger space. We can have vendors set up.
Exactly.
I want to do some vendor markets here soon. After school programming. I'd love to have kids come in here after school and work on dance and whatever else. So the sky's the limit.
And when it comes, I know they will end up dancing with you leading them, and they're not necessarily in public. But what about public performances where, I mean, you're just dancing, you're just going through the routine, but on a stage, a platform where the city can see outside of the studio?
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm open to anything.
Gosh.
Yeah, I don't know if Waco is ready for it.
Yes.
Maybe we can pick one of the more tame songs. Yeah, we can do it. We can make it work.
Yeah, I think so.
Because dance is joyful. You know, we need more joy.
Well, and I don't think I've seen anyone dancing with a frown. If so, something wrong.
You're right.
Yeah.
Something right.
So, TurnUp Waco. Definitely, I see awesome things happening, and the positive impact that you already have. Like I already knew when I met you, I was like, okay, there's energy there. I can see it. You weren't even dancing, and I don't know if the hair was something, but it wasn't that.
Hair gives it away.
It just a hint, but I was like energy though. I was like, positive and definitely passionate about what you do.
Yeah,
so.
I give a lot of credit to my upbringing. Like I'm from South Louisiana, so Cajun people are just different. And I don't think a lot of people get to experience Cajun folks because we generally stay in Southwest Louisiana. We don't leave. Like you have your family and you stay there.
Everybody come back.
So so it's when people encounter me, they're like, what are you? And I'm like, I am 100% European, like French. But it's just because our culture is so different. Like the way that we prioritize being Cajun above like any other identifying factor about us. It's like everyone, like if you've ever seen videos, I don't know if y'all follow John Weatherall on Instagram, but he films Mardi Gras every year. And he just does he captures the essence of Mardi Gras in a way that I've never seen before. And you just see all these like diverse, old, young, black, white, like everybody literally together. Like they're at the parades and they're right next, all on top of each other, just turning up, catching the Mardi Gras beach, drinking. There's kids running around. Like everybody, it's just community. And everybody's just so happy and everybody's dancing. And I'm like, that's what I grew up around.
That's right.
It was like there were no, and I'm the last person to be like, oh, I don't see color, because I feel like we should celebrate people's ethnic heritage, their culture. So I want to see it and I want to celebrate it. But in Mardi Gras and like that's just like where we see each other, but we all love each other. Yeah. Like we're not pretending like, oh, I don't, but we're like, man, you're dope, man, I love your shirt, I love your hair.
That's right.
Like that's what I grew up around, which is, it's called the joie de vivre in French. It's the joy of life. And if you Google it or Wikipedia, joie de vivre, it's literally something Cajuns are known for. I think we understand that life is short because our people were exiled and deported from Nova Scotia before coming to Louisiana. And so like we've carried our stories with us. We're very aware of our history. Like we learn about it in Louisiana. You don't have this like, oh, don't tell them the real history. Every year we know our history. And so we're very grateful for every single day. And we're grateful, like you could be arguing with your family member and then we're like, I love you. Because you know when you leave, that might be your last time seeing them.
For real, that's right.
And so we just have a joie de vivre. Like we just, Mardi Gras, it's a way of life. So that's what I'm doing here is like Mardi Gras every day.
Yes, and turning up, having people turn up but don't usually turn up. I mean, you get excitement knowing someone who probably doesn't even do this and you're a different person.
That's my favorite. Just when they come in all shy and stuff, and by the end of it, they're like, man, I didn't expect to do that. Exactly.
They're the loudest ones.
Yeah, because whenever you're a liberated person and you are being extra, then it gives other people a space to be like, well, maybe I can do it too.
I know it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. No one's judging you here. Like this is the space, and I articulate that before every class. I'm like, I know you might have to go out there and play the part, all these different roles out in the city, but
here,
like here, nah, You get to be whoever you want to be here. I was like, put on your alter ego. You know, Beyonce has Sasha Fierce.
Yeah, there
I was
you
like,
go.
pick your name. Who is your alter ego?
That's right.
Yeah.
Tell the world.
Yeah.
So, where can they go to sign up to get
Yeah, TurnUpWaco.com. There's also info about event rentals. So whenever we're not using the space, people rent it for birthday parties or baby showers and stuff like that because it's cute.
Yeah.
So, and I make it affordable because I want to be able to serve the community in that kind of way. And it helps us, you know, the bottom line is just keeping the lights on and stuff like that. So all the information, upcoming events, event space rental, class info, all of that is on TurnUpWaco.com.
TurnUpWaco.com. Y'all definitely check it out and get signed up. Don't be afraid to turn up, okay? And definitely TurnUp Waco is going to be doing new things and growing still. So I'm excited. And I haven't even done a class yet, but I plan on doing it.
You should. Okay? Like I said, Notes is he's going to be teaching Sweat It Out. So men are welcome too, as long as you can get down with the whole philosophy of TurnUp. We have TurnUp instructors that are men. So yeah, it's just like it's cool to see men celebrating women and femininity and like the strong femininity, the balance of both, where we don't have to like you don't have to be docile and timid and meek.
No.
But they see and they appreciate the women in their lives who are both strong and soft, and so that's what we're doing here.
And a powerful, confident woman is attractive and definitely has a glow. So I mean, I think
that's the factory right here.
That's it. Making them right here.
Making them right here. So we're cooking it right here.
Well, definitely, we got TurnUp Waco, I hope, and that's going to be in the lecture ground, episode 2. Peace out.